Let's go to Chrissy in Alabama. Oh, it's sad in Alabama today. How are you, Chrissy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Have y'all recovered?
Is this a sports reference?
Oh, you're the best. You're the best. It's literally a national day of mourning in Alabama. Last night when we were recording this was the Alabama-Georgia game, which Georgia demolished Alabama. And I love that you don't even know what I'm talking about. Christy.
I have no idea
Chrissy.
what you're talking about.
You're the best. The best. So good. Is this a sports reference? Oh, you're awesome. All right, so what's up?
All right. Okay. So my son, who's about to be 8, was just diagnosed with a condition called PANDAS, which stands for
pediatric
autoimmune
with strep.
neuropsychiatric disorder from strep.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Does he have OCD or tics or like what's popped up?
He's got OCD and tics. It went from he was sick with strep in November, and it almost felt like overnight after he finished like his 5 days of antibiotics, he became my like sweet, gentle, outdoor loving, great imagination little boy turned into this OCD, raging, almost manic, defiant. I mean, like it was like looking at a stranger.
Wow, what a terrifying thing for your mom as a mom.
Yes, terrifying. And he would go into these fits for hours, like just nonstop rage for hours.
Yeah.
And my husband and I, and we have a 4-year-old. We were all just like, what is happening?
Yeah. So how'd y'all go through the process to get that diagnostic? Because I know it's a rare thing, but sometimes people have to go through multiple people to get diagnosed there.
Yes, we were actually extremely lucky because the principal from my kid's school said, because he was struggling at school, and everybody was like, he just seems so different. What's going on? And I said, he hasn't really been himself since he had strep. And the principal said, have you ever heard of PANDAS? And I didn't.
What a great principal. Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
So amazing. And then so I went into like crazy research mode. And then we ended up finding out that there was a pediatrician in the town just down the way from us whose son had it. And he like is he knows about it. He knows how to treat it. And he's actually opened up his own practice, just dealing with more complex cases because the appointments need to be longer than the 10-minute pediatrician appointment.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
To work through it. And so we were super lucky because we've been able to start treatment where I have now joined some Facebook groups of like for this. And there are some people who, for years, they didn't have an official diagnosis.
Jeez. And then they just, it's like low dose steroids and antibiotics, right?
Yep. Yes. So we're on the steroids and the antibiotics. We're on our 2nd month of antibiotics and our 1st month of steroids. And we're day 4 into the steroids, and it's already like we're seeing chunks of our child come back to us.
So awesome. It's so good, man. That makes my heart feel good. I've heard, and again, I've got no direct experience with this at all, but I've heard that it's like a light switch on and then off, and then it comes back on. That with the right low dose steroids and antibiotics and whatever, like obviously you have to be working with a doctor to get into this kind of stuff, but that it can be magic, dark magic into this thing and incredible magic on the way out of this thing.
Yeah. And then it's just doing a lot of lifestyle changes of just continuing to like vitamin D. A lot of these kids are real vitamin D low, and just so.
I think every kid's vitamin D low these days, but
unfortunately,
one, high five to you. I'm glad y'all figured this out. Big time shout out to your principal who just calling it out, having a doctor in your community. That's so great, and you acted on it quick. How can I help?
Well, I've heard you. I listen to your show all the time, and I hear you talk about
nobody
like
does. That's so good. Yeah.
I know, I'm one of the 17.
Yes.
But like your analogy with like the 9/11, like rebuilding, after, because he's coming back, but like so much of our life is just like everything has changed.
Yes. Yeah.
And we have to be he's very immune compromised until we can get him really healthy and well, and his gut healthy, and the inflammation from his brain down. So we've ended up pulling him from school because he can't risk getting COVID or flu or even just strep or cold. Like anything will set him back because his body is so fragile right now.
Can I just ask you one quick question? You
Yes.
just mentioned gut health, and is that in response to the antibiotics?
No. So they're finding the connection between like the gut mind, the gut brain connection.
I just need you to know that as that makes my heart feel so good. You are on the right path. The fact that you even know about that puts you so in rare air and makes my heart feel good. The antibiotics will wreak havoc on the gut biome, and having a doctor who's working with you on making sure that stays healthy. Oh my gosh, your kid's going to be great. Chrissy's going to be great. Golly, it's such a beautiful story. Okay, I interrupted you, but yeah, so he's immunocompromised, right? He's got a lot going on. His for those of you listening, we could get off into the rails on this thing, but my understanding, which is limited, is that strep is such an ancient virus. It's great at mimicking. It's great at hiding in the body, and that it mimics other healthy cells, and that at some point, in rare cases, your body will turn on thinking that, oh, there it is, it's hiding, and then it mows down a whole bunch of good stuff, and then all of a sudden your brain gets super overinflamed, and it just changes your personality, your response. It just goes haywire. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so now, and then, we have the added, I don't know what you would call it, but he's losing teeth now. And every time that a tooth starts to wiggle, that's germs in his body. And then his body again attacks that, causing more inflammation. So now every time, so he literally had strep, and then like a week later he lost a tooth, and then like a week later he lost a tooth. So he gets these, what they call flares. So all of a sudden we'll be like we think we're doing really well, and then all of a sudden he's like raging again, and we're like, what in the world? And then I'm like, open your mouth, let me see. And I'm like, oh, wiggly tooth. And like, because it's just going, it's just germs right up into the blood-brain barrier and all this stuff. So, but yes, it's basically, so he, we've had to pull him from school. We actually just pulled his little brother from school because, if he's at school with germy kids, then, we just need to do that. And we're selling our house and moving, and we got a lot going on.
Is the doctor recommending this, that you pull the kids out?
Yeah, well, and they were saying that so much of it, some of the symptoms, which is so strange, is like school refusal, like just there's so much going on at school, and their brains just are so inflamed that they can't even handle the stimulation from school.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
they can develop like sensory issues and stuff, and tics from that.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to give you good stuff and then the hard stuff. You ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
So if this is the first major trauma with your kids, I'm assuming it is. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. You're looking to this idea that our family is now different is incredible. Chrissy, I don't know. I don't know where you come from in Alabama, but you are so far ahead of the curve. You're an inspiring woman. It's awesome. Your kids are so lucky to have you. Understanding, okay, we're all different now because we stared over the edge of the cliff and we realized, oh gosh, our kid could just get a little bit of sickness and then just be gone. And that most parents don't ever experience that until it happens. It's terrifying. Everything's different now. And then that turns into, well, what about this? What about this? And that's where you got to be really careful. And here's where I want to challenge you to not keep picking up the flagpole and moving it inch by inch. I want you to pick it up and go excavate the whole site, right? Who we were is over. We're new now. We're going to build something new, but we're going to plant the flag way over there and say, this is who we're going to be. Here's what I'm talking about. It can be your determination to make sure your kid's okay can quickly turn into him being terrified of his own body.
Yep.
Because mom is always saying, what about this? What about this? And oh my gosh, what about that? We got to pull you out of this. We got to take care of that. And if that's what the doctor's calling for, great. I love Facebook groups because they allow people who have strange things like that. Nobody in your circle has kids with this, right? So you get instant community, and also you get all of the 1 in a trillion things.
Yeah.
And it turns you into a paranoid maniac, right?
Yeah.
Are you there yet?
No, I am self-aware enough to know, like, so I've started to eat, like, when it first started happening, like in December, we were just kind of like, what is happening? And I did a lot, I did my research, and now I'm starting to step back more and being like, I have the plan, and so I've started to, like, I'm reading books before bed instead of, like, I'm implementing good boundaries of things and just being like,
turn it off. Turn it off.
Every case is different. So if I'm reading that this one person had a 13-year struggle with this, that's not going to help me right now.
Yeah. Yes, Chrissy, you continue to amaze me. Yes, turn it all off. You've got the info you need. Yeah. You got a great doctor. Let's be done with inputting new information. There's not going to be an article on Google you stumble onto and you go, I'll try this. It's just going to be another Facebook person being like, oh yeah, well, I found it in the vacuum. And you're going to be like, oh, okay, let's burn the vacuum. It's never going to stop, right? Yeah. It's 5G. Yeah. It's because of oh my gosh, whatever it is.
Too much.
And absolutely take it off. So you're there. A key to when you decide we're going to excavate and build something new, the key number one is having somebody to do it with you. Is your husband in with you? Good guy?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, he won the lottery marrying you, and hopefully it's reciprocal. Hopefully you won the lottery marrying him. Y'all decide we're going to take care of our marriage and our bodies. You have to do that. When a kid gets sick, the first thing that goes out the window is intimacy. The second thing that goes out the window is treating each other with kindness. The third thing that goes out is our budget. The fourth thing, just these stable, intentional ways of doing life go out the door because everything's on fire.
Yep.
And now you said it, and so I'm going to use your own words. It's not on fire anymore. Now you can just read books before bed. Is that, you hear where I'm going? Now you can start redoing life again. And you're going to feel guilty for doing life. That's going to be the key here. And then deciding, what do we want this thing to look like? So we got a kid who's got a rare thing. We're going to keep trusting the doctors on this. And we're going to keep doing the right things there. And we're going to watch a movie because movies are fun. And we are going to, we can't play basketball anymore? Cool. We're going to get a foosball table. We're going to have it delivered to the house. We're going to play foosball because that's going to be fun. We're going to find joy in whatever context, whatever ecosystem makes sense for joy for us, but we're not going to live a joy-free life.
Yeah.
And we're going to grieve the absolute hell out of this thing because it sucks.
Yeah.
Right? Have you done that yet? Have you had a moment where you're just by yourself or with the girlfriend and you just broke the crap down?
Yeah. I was super lucky that my mom was able to fly. We're military, so we're down here without family and stuff. And my mom, when it was first happening, I was like, something is happening, Mom. And like, you need to come down here. Yeah. And her and I were able to kind of get away and just, I don't know, I just cried. I was able to just vent and cry and be mad.
Good.
And just like scream. My husband and I even thought maybe we could invest in a punching bag we can maybe have in the garage.
So I would invest. That's fine. I have one in my garage. I would invest in a journal, and I know that's so lame. I would write this stuff down so that you have the story to tell your son in 5 years and 10 years and 20 years. And that you're going to tell his future spouse someday. You're going to write this down and you're going to tell the story. And make sure that all the feelings, all of the ups and the downs. Today was a great day. Today was an awful day. I cried all day. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I hate you're not in school. I want him to see that stuff. And I want that crap out of your body onto the paper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we've been talking. I mean, he can tell when he like he has said like something is wrong with me. There's something in my brain. Like he's aware that these changes are happening. When he goes into the rages, he doesn't remember them, which I guess is a blessing because of some of the horrific things he has said when it first happened. I mean, we remember.
Yeah. Well, and again, you're going to have to work really hard. And when I say work really hard, you're going to have to be honest with your husband. He's going to have to be honest with you. You're going to have to write stuff down and get a counselor if you need one. But you're going to have to know he was 8 and he's having a brain disorder right now. So when he says, I hate you, or you fill in the blank, that's not personal, even though, God, it feels personal. It's like poltergeist, right?
Yeah, and my father was bipolar and committed. Well, he died from suicide when I was 18, I'm seeing that a lot of this is triggering.
Yes.
Yes. I will have to go back to EMDR therapy eventually.
Well, so your body's got a trauma response, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
That even makes more sense.
But I know it's different.
It's different, but our bodies, they'll say, oh, we remember when we were out of control. We remember the terror. We remember the fear. We've got a system for this. Let's run the program. And you've also done a lot of work to heal from your dad's passing. And those same skills will come into play here as you practice a new life. But if you've been down that road before and you know yourself, go call a trauma counselor. Do it today. Call somebody and just say, I need to just go vomit up here. I've been through trauma before. I've been through it hard. I lost my dad. I thought I was about to lose my son. Or I thought he's going to be with us and be gone. And I would have lost him in spirit, but not in body. All that is so terrifying. So terrifying. Yes, go talk to somebody. And if you need to get a punching bag, get a punching bag. But also get a journal and write these things down. Keep these things as a story. Be super honest and open. Get a group. Get people that you can have in your life just to go, and get off the internet. I'm so proud of you. God, I'm so proud of you. You're amazing, Chrissy. You're amazing. Man. In fact, you know what a gut biome is, and you decided to get off of the internet. So great. Find ways. Go on a date with your husband. Go on a date. Get a babysitter and go on a date. Figure out how to do that. Or it may be that put a video on for the kids in one room and y'all go close the door and y'all have a date. Like, make sure y'all are staying plugged in with each other. That calms your brain down. You let your brain know, I wasn't safe, but now I am. Now I'm okay. So proud of you. Give me a call. Let me know how he's doing. I really want to know because I'm going to guess he's going to be up and running around in the next month or two, and I want to hear that story, and we'll tell everybody who's listening. Thank you so much for your call, Chrissy.